Good evening. Ira Epstein with your metal market wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for a wild trade in gold today for Monday, and we are at the 11th of November, 2024, just after 6:20 p.m. Central Time. Before we go to the marketplace, maybe we should take a look here. We're going to get the National Federation of Independent Business. It's their October Business Optimism Index, and that comes out at 5 in the morning. They're looking for 91.5. Redbook Group, they'll update their retail sales data. That comes out at 7:55. And for grain traders, you're going to get the normal grain report that we get on Monday coming out tomorrow, and that's because of Veterans Day. And again, happy Veterans Day to all, and thank you, vets, for keeping America what it has become, safe in terms of freedom. And you know, we can argue amongst ourselves about everything, but we are a free country, and because of that, we can argue about it. Try that in other places, not quite the same. All right, you know, the stock market has been relentless to the upside. Finally, tonight, we're getting the first semblance of a small pullback in the market, but this is the Trump trade. This is the market saying Trump is going to correct all the ills, and that's going to send the market on to 10,000 in the Dow Jones. Yeah, that's the number you're hearing over his 3-year period that some analysts are saying it'll get to. We'll see. When you look at the gold market, today it was down nearly $80. I mean, a monster break. What happened? Well, it's a combination, I guess, of the continued strength in the dollar and increased interest rates. And while they're up a little bit tonight in the futures, they were down and steady to down most of the day. If you were to ask me why it all happened, probably a crowded trade. A crowded trade means too many people on one side of the market. Number two, people feel that they're missing something in the stock market. Number three, they moved into Bitcoin. Yes, tonight you hit 90,390. So since this market has cleared the 70,000 mark, where we discussed here a couple of weeks ago, that if it did that, it might accelerate to the upside. Well, it has certainly done that part. Obviously, the next landmark number is $100,000 a coin. When we take a look at the currency markets, we're getting a little bit of stability tonight. I can't call it much of a rally. 5 ticks up or so isn't much. And gold up $11 after dropping 75.80 isn't that big of a rally, right? But it's better than it down another 75. That's the way to look at it. So let's together take a look at gold. First of all, for the week, and we just began, you're down 2.5% for the week. That's a monster break. If the market keeps going down to 25.74 levels, the next support zone on a weekly chart, as you can see on the daily, this market fell apart after it got back under these lows, right through here. And that set this whole tone off. I thought the market might have found its footing right through here last week on Thursday, when it came back up, and it sort of stalled out on Friday, as you could see. I don't mind telling you, I didn't see this break that you're going to see now coming into this market today. I'm sure you did. I didn't see that coming. When we take a look together at moving averages, you're not quite there yet. You've got the swing line to lower highs, lower lows. That is bearish. And that set the whole tone off, and that was confirmed when you took out the lows today of last Thursday. So that's when I got nervous. I thought the market might return there. It has been under the 18-day average, so the bias is down. Now the trend is down, so where do you think the support's going to come in? I contend it'll come in at the Bollinger Band, down to this 100-day average. That's where I'm looking for the support. So you're there, is one way to look at it, and you're oversold. That doesn't mean it can't go lower. I don't see a reason for it to go lower. I think the damage was done. The gold-silver ratio didn't alter itself at all today. Dece did nothing. It just stayed about where it's at. Silver has fallen into the 100-day average and the lower band. Now, I do think part of this is also China. because China's done nothing to stimulate the economy enough to make traders say, hey, we're going to use more platinum, we're going to use more copper, we're going to use more silver, we're going to use more of this, that, because we've got good support coming and the Chinese government's moving to support the economy. No, that's not the case. They're moving to support and float bonds and other issues to give money to the regional governments to stay afloat, but I don't see them doing anything major. Word is major, 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 where the market's buying into it and saying they've got their arms around it. They'll say they're doing something major. The world markets don't see it that way. And in the copper, which you heard me say over the weekend and last week, the canary in the mine is still acting bearish. These are lows we haven't been at for a while. Gold's back to September. Mid-September lows. It's wiped out everything from the election that it had, and maybe that's the trade that we got today, was the end of the Trump election. And if that's the case, are there other markets that might follow it? I don't know. Traders are blindly bullish the dollar. They think that interest rates won't go too far. I've heard other traders saying 5% 10-year notes. In the stock market, they think it can overcome a strong dollar and at the same time overcome stable to higher interest rates, and the market will grow because of Trump's policies. Those policies, number one, have to be adopted. The market is up on the thought that that will work. You've got to get to the reality at some point, and you're certainly not there yet. In the platinum market, lower highs, lower lows, oversold already. This on last week was the first move you got into the Bollinger Band and the 200-day average. You haven't really gone anywhere since then, but it's interesting how the market fell apart. And the dollar's back over the upper Bollinger Band, and it typically doesn't stay there very long. Each time you've gotten there recently, you'd have to walk back. You can't even find it back there. So it just doesn't happen that often. That doesn't mean it can't, but that's what's been going on. So yeah, I look at today as an interesting day of throwing in the towel in the gold market for a lot of people. Probably margin calls hitting in the marketplace. That's a big drop. And now I think you'll try to stabilize this week, maybe even rally back a bit. We'll see if that's how it works out. Right now, it's all a question of when does the selling dry up at these prices. Now, if you want to see more and see what we do in the morning and how we handle things, go to our website. Go into the research area for my future stocks and spiders research. We cover 40 charts every morning at 6 a.m. for the futures, 9 a.m. for the stocks and spiders. You'll come into our website. Charts will look like this. The videos will be there. We're instituting a few new things you'll start seeing over the next day or two if you're a subscriber, maybe by the end of the week, actually. But I explain how this all works, what the lines are, why to use them in a certain way, and where you're at. Will I be right all the time? No. Will I be wrong all the time? No. It's a question of trying to catch good trades and see what you can do with them. Not all trades turn out good. You know that. If so, nobody walks on water. Understand that. But you go to IraEpstein.com, look at the word research or move your cursor up here, and it explains itself. I'm Ira. I'll catch up with you in the morning.